Tell me what is the weight of these things? किसी को पता है? What is the weight of an electron? Electron I am just mentioning like this. What is the weight of a neutron? What is the weight of a proton? ये किसी को पता है? नहीं पता है. सबके पास मुझे ये पहले बताओ कि तुम लोगों के पास टेक्स्ट बुक है क्या? नहीं है. सबके पास है और लाइब्रेरी में ये तो बताओ ना. सबके पास है. सो आई वांट यू टू गो टू योर टेक्स्ट बुक. दिस इज योर फर्स्ट असाइनमेंट एंड टेल मी इन टेक्स्ट बुक इट्स देयर. ओके, सो यू वांट टू टेल मी द मास ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, न्यूट्रॉन्स एंड प्रोटॉन्स. ठीक है, सिंपल टास्क है. अगर अभी टेक्स्ट है तो मैं अभी भी दिखा सकता हूँ, लेकिन अभी टेक्स्ट नहीं है. सो घर में जाके या हॉस्टल में जाके ये मुझे कल सबको बताना है. ठीक है. एंड या she know the answer. Can you say it loud?
9.1 into 10 to the power minus 12
In which protons? So yeah, 1.62 into 10 to the power minus 22. It's okay. So you just see here in this page it's written, okay, which is the page number 33. Okay, so you just, and let me ask you one more thing. How many of you people read the textbooks? You can हाथ उठाओ. And in my class, one more thing, you don't have to stand up when you are asking questions. You can just sit and ask questions. But when I'm asking for hands up, you all have to participate. अब इसमें कुछ लोगों का ऐसा हैंड रेस करना है, नहीं करना है, ऐसे सोचने का क्या बात है? ऐसे इतना तो करना है. तो how many of you read textbooks? A 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. अगर नहीं करना तो नहीं बोलना. मैं जब पढ़ रहा था मैं भी नहीं पढ़ा था. ठीक है, लेकिन that was not at all a good idea. I realized after my school, because I was also planning for this entrance exams, but मुझे कुछ भी पता नहीं था क्योंकि सब कुछ टेक्स्ट से ही आ रहा है. So what I had to do, I went to a coaching institute to study for 1 year. ठीक है, वो क्यों हुआ मुझे पता नहीं था. ये पढ़ना है, मैं भी सोचा इतना बड़ा बुक के क्यों पढ़ो. लेकिन I will say don't read much, but at least read 5 pages per day. 5 pages per day तो कर ही सकता है, इतना टाइम नहीं लेगा. So I am asking all of you to read at least 5 pages. ये कर सकता है? करेगा या नहीं करेगा? नहीं करेगा. So that's you study textbooks, right? That's why she got it. And if you are reading textbook, I say तुम लोगों को पढ़ने का जरूरत ही नहीं होगा, ऐसे आ जाएगा चीज. ठीक है. सो इसमें तो हमको क्या है, इससे क्या समझ कर सकता है? देखो, इलेक्ट्रॉन का इवन इफ आई एम जस्ट कैंसलिंग दिस फर्स्ट वन, प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन का आ रहा है 10 इंटू -27, 10 raised to -27, right? But in electrons case, how much is it? It's 10 raised to -31. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? So you know about these notations, right? What is meant by 10 raised to -27? पता है? नहीं पता. So simply, if I am putting a negative sign over here, let's say I am writing 10 raised to -2. इसका मतलब है 10 raised to 2 क्या होता है? 100 होता है. एक्जैक्टली 10 raised to -100 होता है. 10 raised to 2 100 होता है. 10 raised to -2 क्या होता है? वे तो पता है, तो पहले बोला पर नहीं पता. ये है 1/1000, like 100. So the same cheese applied here. This is 1/1 with 27 zeros. This is 1/1 with 31 zeros. उसमें बहुत अंदर है ना. इसका मतलब है कि ये 27 है, ये 31 है. इसका मतलब है कि इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 1/10,000 because the difference is 4, right? If you are not getting, you have to tell me. Can understand the math? Please say. So there is a lot of difference. So there, the 1 kilogram and 1000 kilogram is it's a huge difference, right? But it's almost, it won't be 10,000 because the electron is 9 point something, and the neutron and proton is 1 point something. So it will be around 1000 and plus. You can understand that? I think you didn't get it. नहीं समझ में आया तो बोलना. समझ में आया? And one more thing I would like to say, to study science and to study about for exams, you have to make your math strong. ठीक है? मैथ मतलब ऐसा ही सिंपल चीज ज़्यादा नहीं करना है. लाइक दिस ही वाज सेइंग ना 10⁻⁴. ऐसे हमको जल्दी आ रहा तो हमको बहुत चीज़ आसान होगा पढ़ने में. ओके, सो व्हाट इज atomic number? That is a very important one. So basically electrons mass is very less compared to the mass of proton and neutron, because proton and neutron are having almost same mass, only a small difference. Okay, charge and all are different, but the weight, the mass, weight, not weight. What is the difference between weight and mass? Do you know? नहीं पता, वो तो फिजिक्स में पढ़ूंगा, वो पढ़ना ही है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज जस्ट एन एड ऑन. वेट और मास दोनों सेम नहीं है, बहुत डिफरेंस है. ठीक है, सिंपली आई विल जस्ट गिव यू हिंट. वेट हमारे ग्रेविटी के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. ठीक है, अगर मैं अभी 60 किलोग्राम्स है, मैं मून में जा रहा है, मून में ग्रेविटी इज 1/6 ऑफ अर्थ. ठीक है, सो मेरा वेट 60 kg होगा, लेकिन मास तो सेम ही होगा. ठीक है, मास वोंट चेंज, वेट कैन चेंज इफ आई मीन मून, इफ आई मीन मार्स. ठीक है, दिस इज जस्ट एन एड ऑन इन्फॉर्मेशन. बट व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू इज एटॉमिक मास हम कैसे डिसाइड कर देंगे. एटॉमिक मास सिंपली हमको ये कर सकता है कि द मास ऑफ प्रोटॉन एंड द मास ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन्स. इलेक्ट्रॉन्स भी ऐड कर सकता है, लेकिन वो करके उतना फायदा नहीं है, बहुत छोटा है. सो हम यूजुअली इग्नोर कर देते हैं. It won't affect our results much. ठीक है, that is atomic, not number. Number is the number of protons. I was asking about atomic weight. So अभी किसी ने मुझे बोलना है कि atomic weight क्या होता है. atomic weight क्या होता है? सिंपल है ना, the weight of protons and neutrons, ये दोनों मिला के एटॉमिक वेट. ठीक है, ये सिंपल डेफिनेशन है, लेकिन ये भूलना नहीं है. ओके, दीज आर सम बेसिक फाउंडेशन. तुमको कभी भी जाओ +1 +2 हर जगह इसका यूज होता है. ठीक है, सो दीज थिंग्स इफ यू वांट टू नोट यू कैन नोट ऑल्सो. एटॉमिक मास क्या होता है, एंड यूजुअली हम केजीज में ये नहीं बोल देंगे. देयर आर वन एटॉमिक. सो तुम तो मुझे बोला कि पहले चैप्टर पढ़ा है, पहले चैप्टर में तो इसके बारे में पढ़ा है, ये मोल कॉन्सेप्ट सब पढ़ा है, मोल कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ा है. तो उसमें तो आ रहा है एटॉमिक वेट. शायद कोई बात नहीं, कुछ टाइम वी विल मिस सम थिंग्स, बट आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस फर्स्ट चैप्टर्स ऑफ +1 is the most important ones in +1 chemistry, especially the some basic concept of chemistry and the mole concept. You need that in many chapters. If you are not getting mole concept right now, तुम लोग का हो गया, कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा बाद में in many subjects. So अगर मैं बोलूँगा तुमको अभी वो समझ में अच्छे से नहीं आया तो वो जाके एक बार पढ़ना, और ऐसे ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ना कि ऐसे you just read the textbooks, तो हो जाएगा. ठीक है, सो एटॉमिक वेट का डेफिनेशन ये है. और देर आर सम देर यूजुअली, बट एटॉमिक वेट हम यू में मेंशन कर देता है. वो फर्स्ट चैप्टर में सुना है, यू, एटॉमिक मास यूनिट, AMU भी बोलता है, AMU या यू. सो दिस इज, आई जस्ट डोंट वांट टू कंफ्यूज यू गाइस, बट दिस इज ए वेरी फंडामेंटल थिंग्स इन केमिस्ट्री, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू. सो ऐसा कार्बन 12 ऐसा एक चीज होता है, वो क्या क्या है वो अभी कंफ्यूज मत करना. कार्बन 12 होता है, इसका वेट कितना है हमने देख लिया. ठीक है, उसका वेट को 12 से डिवाइड किया, ठीक है। ये भी कुछ टाइम एग्जाम्स में पूछता है व्हाट इज एटॉमिक मास यूनिट, इसलिए ये बहुत आसान है। बस अभी सुनो, तुम्हारा डेफिनेशन में लिख सकता है कार्बन 12 का वेट मैंने काउंट किया, उसको 12 से डिवाइड किया, वही है 1 एटॉमिक यूनिट, 1 AMU। ओके, 1 AMU वही है। एंड ऑलमोस्ट 1 प्रोटॉन इज इक्वल टू 1 AMU, ठीक है। दिस इज नॉट एन एक्सैक्ट वैल्यू, बिकॉज तुमको अभी देख सकता है ये खोलना वो 33, हाँ ठीक है, ये मैक्स है, ठीक है। देखो ये मैंने बोला कि प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन का मास सेम है, but you can see that it's 1.672 and 1.674. So there is, after so many decimal points, there is a small change. But in science, what is most important? Application is most important. In life and science also, application is the most important one. So we usually round off these things. Okay, so that's what we have to think about this also. Usually one proton is 1 atomic unit and 1 neutron is also 1 एटॉमिक यूनिट, ठीक है। सो मुझे ये बता देना कि तुमको ये पता है हाइड्रोजन का एग्जाम्पल नहीं लेना है। सो कार्बन, ठीक है, कार्बन का एटॉमिक नंबर कितना है पता है? 6। सो 6 का मतलब क्या है? 6, एक्जैक्टली 6 नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स। सो 6 प्रोटॉन तो है ही, ठीक है। And in most of the cases the number of neutrons will be the same, but this is not the all the cases. That's where isotope and all comes, but this is not coming into this chapter, so I am not going to explain a lot about this. But mostly the number of neutrons will be also similar to the number of protons. Okay, so कितना neutrons होगा? 6 exactly. So कुछ टाइम 7 भी हो सकता है, लेकिन मोस्टली 6। सो इसका एटॉमिक मास कितना होगा? 12, सिंपल 12। सो नाउ यू नो व्हाट इज एटॉमिक मास, atomic mass, the concept. So let me ask you, just tell me one more element in which you know the atomic number. कार्बन का तो 6 है, सो और कुछ? सोडियम, सोडियम का कितना है? 11। सो सोडियम का ये एटॉमिक मास कितना हो सकता है? 23। ये सब किसने पढ़ाया? सर ने पढ़ाया, लेकिन मैं तो बोला इसका एटॉमिक नंबर कितना है। सो इसमें कितने न्यूट्रॉन्स होगा? 11। सो 11 + 11 कितना है? सो ये सही है या ये सही है? कौन सी सही है? 23 is the right answer, because as I have mentioned before there are small changes, ठीक है। सो कार्बन में भी आइसोटोप हो सकता है, एंड we are, why this change is happening? It's not happening because we are wrong, it's happening because of the approximations. समझ में आ रहा? सो मैंने बोला कि न्यूट्रॉन और प्रोटॉन का सेम ही मास है, लेकिन टेक्स्ट बुक में तुमको देख सकता है कि स्मॉल चेंजेस है, ठीक है। सो इसीलिए ये थोड़ा थोड़ा चेंजेस होता रहता है, बट मोस्टली इट विल बी दी लाइक, otherwise we can get a value similar to that. Okay, so इसका सोडियम का 23 ही है। So now you know about atomic mass and atomic number. So ये periodic table बनने लिए लोगों ने क्या किया? पहले they started to arrange these elements with respect to their properties. So properties दो तरीके का होता है, एक होता है फिजिकल, एक होता है केमिकल। सो फिजिकल ऐसे ही, वो नाम सुन के तुमका मन में क्या आ रहा है? फिजिकल, फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज क्या हो सकता है? It's very simple actually. It's what we see. Physical is what we can touch, what we can see. So maybe the color is a physical property, and the hardness is a physical property, right? And there are some other so तुमने वो metals में शायद पढ़ा होगा कि malleability, ductility and all. पढ़ा है नहीं पढ़ा तो बोलो, पढ़ा तो वो बोलो, नहीं पढ़ा है so she is saying पढ़ा है, ठीक है. So those are also physical properties, but there are some chemical properties also. Chemical properties are something like we can classify in different terms, right? So if I am in the class, I can think of n number of ways to classify you people. So I can just say boys and girls, तो ऐसे classify हो गया. I can tell people who are wearing a t-shirt and people are wearing a shirt, so वो भी एक classification है. Or I can say that people who are wearing red and people who are wearing green, वो भी एक classification है. So different तरीके का classification भी होता है. For that in chemical you are getting sleepy. If you want to go and wash your face, it's fine. So chemical properties में भी ऐसा कुछ होता है कि acidity, acid basicity सुना है, acid bases. So we can maybe classify like that also, and we can classify with its reaction with oxygen. So why reaction with oxygen? Reaction with oxygen is a very important chemical property because of course oxygen is all around us, and maybe we can simply see why the reaction of oxygen is very important in here also. ये दिख रहा है, ये थोड़ा rust तुम लोग को देखा है इधर. In every metals there will be some part of rust, so here you can see it. So rust is happening because it's reacting with oxygen. ये सुना है? So it's reacting with oxygen and it's kind of making metal oxides. So it's because the oxygen is so reactive, we can think of chemical properties too. ठीक है. So एक बंदा था, उसका नाम है डोबराइनर. So what he have done is he started classifying these elements according to their properties. Okay, and what he found out was kind of interesting. So when he was this kind of classifying these things, he just made some kind of triads. Triad का मतलब क्या होता है? Three things. Tri मतलब three, right? क्या? So ये भी शायद वो फर्स्ट चैप्टर में पढ़ा होगा, सुना है, दिस यूनि, डाई, ट्राई, टेट्रा. ये ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री का भी ये सब अभी तुम लोग पढ़ा नहीं है ना, आने वाला है. So in here also for this naming and all there is a common nomenclature, like we said 1 for uni, 2 for di, 3 for tri and tetra, like that we say. Okay, so what he have done is he just took 3 elements and he found out that these 3 things are having same properties. Okay, so he was thinking about why it's having same properties. So then he looked at its atomic number, no, not atomic number, atomic weight. So he found a interesting fact. Yes. So what he found was there is a middle one, so it's only 3. So there is a middle one and a first one and the last one, right? So what he found was the average of these 2 atomic weight is coming around the atomic weight of this. In simple terms, let's say this is x, y and z. This is one Dobereiner triads. ठीक है. So ये 10 आया और ये 20 आया. 10 और 20 कितना है? 30 का हाफ कितना है? So it was coming around 15. So it was not exactly like this, but in some cases it was exactly right, but in some cases it was almost near. So ये दोनों का ये दोनों ऐड करके इसका एवरेज बताओ. Average 23. So this was his first triad. ठीक है. So like this, what he have done is he just found out more triangles, more triad like this. So this was the initial triads he have found out: calcium, strontium and barium. Maybe you guys are hearing these names, barium and all. सुना है? सुना है? कहाँ सुना है? हाँ. In which chapter, which class? Previous class. So there is no issues. And this chlorine, bromine, iodine, वो तो सुना ही होगा. So first, what he have done, he have made these triads, and all these things were almost working. Almost why I am saying, because ये देख सकता है 1 इसमें आया 337, 1 में आया है 40. इसका एवरेज कितना? They just calculate 88.5. But in here, the strontium was just 88. That's why I'm telling you, it was almost an approximation. But what is the issue? We just got almost near to that value, right? So he made these kind of triads in order to classify these things. But what could be the limitations of these things? The first limitation was he was not able to do it with all the elements. Both elements है, लेकिन he was only able to do for some of these elements. ठीक है. So he started this around 1800. ठीक है. So 1800 something, but nobody actually cared much about it because the application was also not much regarding these triads, and it was only limited to these stuff. Then came a guy called AEB. So his name, maybe you will be getting confused. So AEB Chan Cortois, D Chan Cortois. Both difficult name है ना, but actually he is a French guy. So this D thing is a very common French name. So in future also, if we are seeing this D, you can say that yeah, this guy can be a French. Okay. So there was another guy called this AEB Dean Charcotois. I know it's a very difficult name, but in exam also sometimes you have to write the history of the periodic table. So तुमको क्या करना है, ऐसा कुछ कुछ नाम ना वो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. लेकिन अगर बहुत दिक्कत आ रहा है तो ये कर सकता है AED Charcotois. ठीक है, वो ये D ऐसा स्किप कर सकता है, लाइक, बट इफ यू कैन रिमेम्बर इट्स इजी टू, लाइक, इसलिए मैंने बोला डी इज अ फ्रेंच वर्ड, सो ये सोच के तुमको लिख सकता है. ठीक है. सो ही व्हाट ही हैव डन, ही आल्सो ट्राइंग टू अरेंज दिस elements in a increasing order of their atomic mass and properties. ठीक है. So the thing is, as whenever atomic number is increasing, atomic weight will be almost increasing, right? If we are not talking about these isotopes and all, usually it will increase, right? So what they have done till then, most of the people was classifying these elements according to the atomic mass. ठीक है. They kind of thought like it doesn't matter atomic weight or atomic number. So he have made a periodic table, a cylindrical one like this. So it was not a 2D one. 2D one का मतलब पता है ना, टेबल ऐसा कुछ ऐसा नहीं था. It was a 3D one. He just made a cylindrical one, and then also he was able to find out some properties that matches with some other elements. So he was able to classify, but that also didn't got much attention because it was also limited, and it was also not kind of entertained by many other scientists. But then came a very famous theory. So there was a scientist called Newlands. ठीक है. So तुम लोग को ये म्यूजिक का कुछ क्लासेस अटेंड किए कभी? और हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट सा री ग म प ध नि सा? ठीक है, सो कैन समवन जस्ट काउंट दिस सा री ग म प ध नि सा? Just say when it's repeating. Yeah, some of you just sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Just tell me when sa is repeating. After how many numbers the sa is repeating? 8. 8. So what he was telling is, when he was arranging these elements in an increasing order of atomic weight, he just found out an interesting stuff. Because in the case of this Dobereiner and all, he just chose 3 elements, right? Just 3 elements out of nowhere. But he was able to find that, like sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, 8 1. So when he was arranging, he was able to find similar properties with first element and the 8th element. Okay, and the second element and the 9th element, and the third element and the 10th element. You're getting the point, right? After 8 numbers, like after in the 8th one, he found out the properties are yeah, repeating. So properties also, I just explained physical properties and chemical properties. All of the properties won't match, but there are significant number of properties that is matching with this one, and it just became very popular, and it became this Newland's octaves. Okay, so in this octaves also, before that we were, so from tomorrow onwards, can you guys bring the textbook, or is it very hard for you guys? If you can bring, you just say yes. If it make your bag heavy, then you can say no. But कुछ तो कुछ बोलना है, क्या करेगा? लेके आओगे? ठीक है, so then it will be more easy, because if I'm going to draw all these things in the board, it is again time waste, and I say time चला जाएगा, so explain करने का time ही नहीं मिलेगा. So here what happens? This was Newland's octaves. Octave का मतलब पता? Oct means 8. ठीक है, so here sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa. Here also this is the connecting table. So with this logic also, Li Na K. Okay, Dobereiner was also saying this. Here also Li Na K, and here beryllium, magnesium, calcium. But he was not able to tell this, but he just made it more structured, because Dobereiner was just picking three common like elements that showed some similarities and said that these are my triads. But he was able to tell that if you are arranging like this, there is a pattern, and this pattern applicable to all elements. Okay, and it got some kind of attention, and many people was like saying that yeah, this to the scientific community kind of allowed it. And after that is what came the most important one. So here today, what kind of periodic table you see? This kind of thing you have seen, right? Have you seen or not? I don't know. Yeah, so that is a modern periodic table. We call it as a modern periodic table. Do you know who just made that periodic table? Yeah. Hmm? Hmm? Henry Mitchell. Okay. Hmm? Henry? Who made that periodic table? Henry Mitchell. Okay, I got it. But have you heard about his name? Yeah, like have you heard about his name? Where you studied? 10th. Yeah, but in the you studied the guy who made periodic table is Henry. Actually, the guy who made modern periodic table and the guy, yeah, you can sit. I told you now, in order to answer questions and asking questions, you don't have to stand up. Okay, you only have to stand up when you have to go to washrooms and you are feeling sleepy, you have to face your face. So actually, this is not quite right. The father of modern periodic table is Dmitry Mendeleev. Yeah, he was a Russian scientist, and there is a Yeah. So there is a interesting story behind this also. So I don't know which have you, do you remember which subject have you heard studied this name, Henry? Yeah, that I got. Which chapter? Yeah, it's fine. In 10th. Hmm? हाँ ठीक है समझ गया. I will check about it, but it's not quite right. ठीक है. The father of modern periodic table is Dmitry Mendeleev. ठीक है. So if you have some doubts, it's written here only. The periodic, as we know, is today of its development to the Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev. Okay. And one interesting fact about this guy is there were one other guy called Lothar Meyer. There were one other guy called Lothar Meyer. He was also working in this periodic table. Okay. And he was an English chemist. Mendeleev was a, I just told you before. Yeah, he was from which country? Russia. So he was from Russia. This Mayer was a English chemist. What they have done is they were, both of them were working in this periodic table. Okay, and it's quite interesting that they separately kind of founded out the same thing. What they have done is instead of arranging elements with their atomic weight, they started to arrange it with their atomic number. In first, it may not be very different because अगर atomic number ज़्यादा हो गया तो atomic weight भी ऐसे ही ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. But he was able to get good results out of it. Okay, and he was arranging this like what we are seeing today, like this and all. And this Mayer, Lothar Mayer was also developing the same thing, and both of them didn't knew they were doing the same stuff because they are in different parts of the world, right? So they were not able to communicate. And many people say that this Lothar Mayer discovered the new periodic table, the rationale behind new periodic table before Mendeleev. But what happened is Mendeleev was the first guy to tell it to the world, tell it to the scientific community, and publish his findings in a scientific journal. Because of that, Mendeleev is known as the father of periodic table. But even in our textbook also, both of these guys are like they are mentioning that they both contributed to the making of our new periodic table. Okay, so what is the core idea of our न्यू पीरियोडिक टेबल? सो पहले ये मुझे बोलो कि तुम लोग मैथ्स में रिलेशंस एंड फंक्शंस पढ़ा है? थोड़ा थोड़ा. सो एक फंक्शन क्या होता है? फंक्शन क्या होता है? अगर कुछ गलत है तो कुछ दिक्कत नहीं है. So usually in maths we denote right if f into x is equal to y function, we just denote right like this, right? So function means there is a rationale behind. So let's say I am just defining a function at 2x. 2x. If I am taking x as 3, my function will be 6. For 8. So I can predict this, right? So these are the scientific meaning of functions. And what Mendeleev was saying is periodic properties are a function of atomic number. Okay. This thing you have to write in the textbook also. It's you just take your notebook and write this. You are giving separate notebook for all the subjects or one single notebook? Separate. So in chemistry notebook write the maybe you can after also you can write the name of the chapter, but write this modern periodic law. Okay, the properties of the elements are, चुका हो गया, periodic function of their atomic weights. This is what Mendeleev said. Okay, so this Luther Mayer was also working on the same stuff. He was also making a table similar to that, but he just failed because he was not able to publish it before Mendeleev. Okay, so but just because of that, all over the world, people only, whenever people are talking about periodic table, all will say Dmitry Mendeleev. Okay, so tomorrow I have a homework for you. You just have to go through the first, not much, first chapter, and the first page, second page, and third page till here. Only 3 pages you have to read. You will read. Everyone should read. And one other interesting stuff, in the first beginning of this chapter, so there is a quote. So there is a thing that's said by Glenn T. Seberg. Okay, so maybe you guys don't know who is this guy right now. He's not a very famous guy, but this guy is the guy who got Nobel Prize for finding these trans uranium elements. What is trans uranium elements? We will discuss later in this chapter only. Okay, so whenever you are reading, you just think about this also. Okay, so tomorrow for you guys there is a homework is you just make a flow chart. So how many names we have discussed till now? Any idea? You just think about it and tell me how many names, how many scientist names we have discovered respect to periodic table. 3, 3, but I would say 4. Have discussed 4 names. So what you just have to do, you just write his name. No, not only 4, we have discussed 5 names. Okay, so what you have to do, you just write the name. The year is also available in the textbook, but that is optional. If you don't want to write, you can leave it. The name and their findings. Findings, for example, Newlands is the name of a scientist. So what he have done is octaves. Octaves we have discussed, right? In after every 8th element, the thing is properties are repeating. Okay, like this, only 3 pages, but you have to make a flow chart like this. Scientific, the order of scientific discovery of the new periodic table. Okay, got it? So I just wanted to do some activity with you guys. How many people we have? 5, 7, 10. So I have 5 pages, and we have around the time is kind of over. So you can take this, and you too can take this. Uh, maybe you can you take an extra page? Because in the later, not now because the time is over. So no, otherwise I will also. So you just make this paper half and just share it with you guys. Okay, in this paper I have to see the flowchart of the scientist after reading your 3 pages of textbook, and we just mention what you would like to do after your plus 2. Okay, and in simple words, how are you planning for this? Okay, all done. So tomorrow we have a class of chemistry. Everyone should bring this thing. Okay. So, and one more thing, I am kind of very strict regarding these things. It won't take you time, much time. If you are sitting for 20 minutes, you can easily complete this. But those 20 minutes I am expecting from all of you, and I am telling you, if you can spend these 20 minutes, definitely you can score full marks in whichever exams from this chapter. Okay, done. So yeah, now any questions related to this or something not related to this? Anything you can ask. If you are not asking questions, what I can understand is well done. But any questions you can ask, otherwise we can leave for today. तुम्हारा कितने बजे है तुम्हारा केमिस्ट्री? उसको बताओ पेपर के साथ क्या करना है. समझ गया? तुमको समझ में आया पेपर के साथ क्या करना है? नहीं समझ में आया? ठीक है, वही तो पूछना है. किस किस को समझ में आया पेपर के साथ क्या करना है? हाँ, क्या? हाँ हाँ, और तुम्हारा नाम लिखना है, और तुमको क्या बनना है वो भी लिखना है, और हाउ यू गेस प्लानिंग फॉर दैट वो भी लिखना है. ठीक है. सो एक पेज में एक साइड पे तुमको ये लिखना है कि फ्लो चार्ट बनना है, कितना साइंटिस्ट ये 3 पेजेस में डिस्कस हो रहा है, वो पीरियोडिक टेबल ने क्या कंट्रीब्यूट किया, इसे फ्लो चार्ट. इट विल जस्ट टेक 5 लाइन्स. ठीक है, एक पेज में वो करना है, नाम लिखना है. सेकंड पेज में तुमको क्या बनना है, इसलिए उसके लिए क्या प्लान कर रहा है. अगर कुछ प्लान नहीं है तो प्लीज ऐसे ही छोड़ दे, लेकिन वो 2 चीज. ठीक है, और तुम भी थोड़ा सोच लो. ठीक है, क्या बनना है ऐसे ही सोच लो जाके. ठीक है, आधा घंटा. क्लियर?